It has been so long since we have done any renovations, so without further ado, welcome to a new video!
We only need the two of us together. I need only you in this crazy world. 'Cause we got love, love. I need only you here with me.
As you can see, we are in the kitchen, so today is going to be almost the last kitchen renovation. Maybe, it's probably going to be the last kitchen renovation for a little while, but it's a big one. We're finally tiling inside the oven and behind the sink. So yeah, we are finally getting around to doing some of the tiling. I feel like it's a job which I've been putting off from worry that I'm going to do it wrong, but or that I'll do it and it will all fall off the wall, because that is the biggest fear, because it is going on the wall. What if it all falls down? But yeah, anyway, let's get around to it. I have already cleaned the wall off where the tiles are basically going. It is clean, I promise. So it was black. I've got as much of it off as I can. This is also where it's going up to. I'm not cleaning lower. This has taken me 2 hours to scrub. So yeah, I've cleaned it off as much as I can and up to where the plaster had plastered. I need them to come back and plaster the top because I was going to tile the top, but no. The tiler friend has told me not to. So I'm just going to leave that and I'm going to tile the inside section here up to the corner there. So yeah, it's a lot better than what it was. It's dried off a bit. And now I need to do a layer of PVA because it's a terrible surface. It needs a layer of PVA tree on it to make it more sticky for the tile adhesive to grab onto. I've already done that behind the sink. So that's been drying now for, it's got about 20 minutes left. So I'm hoping this takes me about 20 minutes to PVA up, and then I can start sticking the tiles over there, because I feel like that, with it just being one line of tiles on a surface that it can like weigh on, that'll be easier and it will give me good practice to tackle this. Also, Tom will be home in about half an hour, so he can then help me figure this bit out. But yeah, I need to PVA it up, and once I've done that I need to measure it. Well, I might measure it all first before it gets sticky. Measure it all out so I know where the middle is, how wide the tiles are, and I can lay out a piece of wood on the side here so that I can hold up and measure to see where I need to chop tiles down, because you don't want a tiny bit of tile needing to go in the corner or anything like that. But yeah, let's measure it up, measure where things need to go, and just get going, shall we? Okay, so it's been over an hour now since I have put the original piece of PVA glue above the sink, so I'm gonna give it a go. It's a bit nerve-wracking, but I don't know if I've ever shown the tiles that we chose on the vlog, so I thought I'd show you now. We've just gone for white squares, but they're kind of textured, if that makes sense. They're not, if you can see, they're not flat, they're all individual, so, and you hear the wind. So hopefully it will look nice. It won't look too flat because they're all the same shape and very uniform. It won't look too uniform because they're so, what I call rumply, textured, uneven, I guess. So yeah, let's give it a go. I think what I've got to do now is put the tile adhesive to the back with the tile dividers in between and put the tiles in, like wiggle them in flat and then leave them to dry. Because it's just one line, it should be fine. I'm just doing under the sink, and then we can't decide whether to do the bit around the side as well or not. We're going to just see how many tiles we have left. But first I need to line them up to make sure they all fit okay. There we go. What do you think? I think it's going to look good. And that'll be nice and easy for me to start off with. Oh yeah, it's definitely going to give the kitchen a bit more pizzazz. I can't decide whether to go up onto the windowsill today or not. It's going to leave me with a tiny little bit to go along this edge here. Like this much gap. Just there where this tile ends and this tile starts to that edge. So I can't decide whether to shimmy it along a little bit. No, I'll leave it. We're going to get new windows hopefully one day, so we'll sort it out then. I think I've done it right, but here goes my first tile. I think I'm doing it. Right, I need to add some more adhesive onto there. Just a little bit more to go, but I think I'm doing it. Now because it's a good bit later, but I had a go at some more. So I've had a go at the bit that is nice and easy on this side, which is the bit that sits on top of the countertop, the same as over there, it sits on top of the countertop, so it's a bit easier. But I've done this bit by the sink. I've not done the bits that are lying down on top that are on the windowsill. They're just there so I can see. This is all stuck in. They're all good. They're pretty solid now. Pretty solid. Ah! But that's all done. And then we need to get a cutter to do this end bit as well, because we got this tiny, where is it? We got a tiny little, that black thing at the back there. It's like a scraper, and you do it against the spirit level or a ruler or something, but these tiles are way too thick for it. We need to get one that can do 100 millimeter thick tiles, so yeah, they're just way too thick for it. But I've done this whole bit too. Oh, it's gonna look so good. So there is a gap at the top here, but that gap is the same as this gap above our extractor fan, and we're going to put a piece of crown moulding to sit along the top there, so you can't see that gap, which means you won't see that gap. So yeah, that'll be fine. I might potentially have to fill in the one at the back there, but I think this countertop goes slightly up as well, so we'll see how it comes along there. And because the tiles are not quite all the same size, the level might be slightly off at the top there, but woo, I need to get a piece of wood to sit in here so I can do the rest of that and it can lean on that piece of wood. But exciting guys, it's the start of one of the last projects. Good morning everybody. So it's the next day. I have been down. They didn't fall down. Hooray! I've taken out all of the spaces and they're still up and looking good. So that's good. Great. Fantastic. And then please excuse all the washing because I've emptied off all the sides. We've still got pots and stuff from dinner. So but I have sorted all this. Tom came home and he said that this one was a bit too far over, so this morning I've knocked these first 3 off, which is why these don't have as much space between as these, because I don't want to knock off the whole thing. But I don't think you can notice too much, but those 3 have less space because I tapped them off and used the spacer difference to make up the bit that it was hanging over on this side. Yeah, fingers crossed he's happy with that. But that looks good. So that can be grouted and whatnot tomorrow, which is exciting. But I have now just started. I've only had a little bit of time because I've had to prep the area for the rest of the oven space. I had to attach these pieces of wood so that we can rest the tiles on it, so it's a level playing field and is level with everything else, and so that they can bear the weight, if that makes sense. So I stuck this down with tile adhesive and filler underneath, because those 2 things, they're sticky, so it's good and it will stay, but it's not terribly hard to get off the wall, because I got those 3 tiles off with like a couple of taps of the hammer with the wallpaper stripper, which I used as a chisel. So fingers crossed I can do the same with these. But yeah, I've done another 2 rows here. This is like 3/4 of a tile, but I think that'll be the width of the oven, so I hope that'll be okay. Otherwise, when we get the tile cutter, we'll cut it there, and then I'm going to measure this bit again and figure out the spacing I need between the tiles for that big old jobby. We did it! So that
You did it.
you did some.
I did like 1.5 line.
But you still helped a little bit, but we did it. We need to get a tile cutter to do all of these down here and this bit up here, but then we're going to decide what we want to do along the top. We'll see how good we are with the tile cutter for whether we fill in that gap. But yeah, we need to grout it, but we have some friends coming to stay, so we need to move this oven back, so we need to knock these bits of wood off, I think.
Oh.
So let's give it a go. Let's try not to ruin all our tiles. Oh. Just hit it on the other end now, yeah. That's what. Oh!
What?
I did put that one in first, so you might want to do this one first. Yeah, so I did this one second, so you might want to take that one out first. Ooh. Right, it's a few days later now. Yesterday a man came around and very kindly cut some tiles for us, so he just had the tile cutter I put on our Facebook page saying, does anybody have a tile cutter that would cut our thickness of tiles, because we don't, and we don't want to spend £100 odd trying to buy a tile cutter just to cut 5 tiles in half. And someone answered and happily came round and brought his tile cutter and cut some tiles for us, so I can finish it off. I've been waiting to grout it until I put in those last few tiles, so let's go put them in. we're gonna go to grout the tiles. So we had to go to B&Q and buy this grout float grout float, because this is the tool that we were missing to smooth out all of the grout. And this works way better. Just pushes it all in and smooths it all off, whereas the other one was kind of making it with jaggedy rumples in the grout lines. So yeah, but we're doing well. So we've done all that back wall now. When we came in, we had to re-go over a few bits with the grout because it had dried off, but it's all shiny because we've wiped them all down. And now we're just onto this last side, and then we need to do the caulking. Well, we need to do the last line of tiles, but I don't think that will be in this video. And we need to caulk around the corners and around the edges where the worktop is.
We're almost done.
Almost there.
Away. I'll have to see what it looks like in like natural light.
And just like that, the next morning, it looks so much better. It looks like almost finished. We definitely just need to do the one more line around the bottom, and then it will look way better. And then obviously grout this massive bit in the corner here. Not grout, sorry, caulk. That massive bit in the corner. And then it'll look so much better, but then it'll look even better when we've done this bit along the top here. But guys, the kitchen's coming together. But that is it. I'm going to get this video out for you guys, and then we can start doing all the decorating videos for Christmas and things, which is so fun. I love Christmas and I'm so excited for it to be Christmas. I'm ready to do festivities. Obviously we went out with Becky and Lloyd and that was super fun, but I'm ready for like the trees at the church, and I'm ready for we're going away with some friends to Warwick Castle this week, which will be good. And we're doing a Christmassy lights thing there. I'm ready to decorate the cinema and all of the stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me work out how to become a tiler. Not very well, but figuring it out together as always. And yeah, thank you so much. Let me know if you guys have done any projects like this, because I feel like I've kind of bossed it, and for not being able to do it to doing all of this, I feel like I've bossed it. So yeah, let me know if you guys have bossed it too, and what you've done in your house, what DIY projects you've got lined up for next year maybe. We've obviously got the hallway and the bathroom left, so yeah, still a little bit way to go. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye guys.